at least what we practice here, is part of like the vetting process, if you will, to make sure you're, a good candidate and that you'll find success on our team, is that like full embodiment, that we are not clocking in and just clocking out and going through the motions, like, for less of a better phrase, like full tush in when we are here, and like, let this be a place, or wherever your place is that you get to work, like a place where you get to like just focus on that and just be in that present moment. Like when you're here, you don't have to worry about, anything else that is going on in your life. You focus on what you're doing here, which means like you want to make the best latte, or you want to deliver that, whatever that is, with so much pride and intention to let it mean something. Because sure, you can go through the motions. These are mechanical things. And in a way, we like to think that the things that we make is science. The way that we deliver it is art, And so you get so much room for expression and to be who you want to be, or try on being somebody else that day. Like, you're not committed to being any one way. And that's where there's so much room for agency and autonomy in the industry that I think is really incredible, because there's such a balance of that right brain, left brain happening, where there's like, there needs to be structure. It needs to be like sort of this way, in terms of, say, like the recipes and consistency, because people want that. Yeah. But the way that you get to show up and all the space around it is yours, and that to me is exciting, and letting it mean something. And so, I mean, it's like I talk to my son about the way he cleans his room. Like, do it with care, and then you'll feel really proud. If you're rushing through it, if you're just trying to get things out the door, like, put your name on it, like put your stamp on it every time, Yeah. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't with my kid, I'll be honest.
Sure. They're in process.
Yes. But I would say, letting it mean something, taking pride in your work, and being able to be present enough to see the impact that you're having. Like, I will deliver a dish, hope you enjoy it, walk away, and then I'll turn around to experience their experience. Like, do they like it? How does it like light them up? And that's a different pace. Like, you are slowing down, and that can happen when you still have, all these other guests to serve, but being able to be hyper present with that. And that translates, I believe, in any industry, is creating and savoring moments where you've had an impact.
Oof. Okay. So here's what I am hearing, what you're saying, because I think it's very important. Did you live today with any regret? If you could go back, could you have done it better? Mm-hmm. Could you have done it with more intentionality? Mm-hmm. Because in reality, if you're trying to make an art of something, it's how intentional you're going to be that gives it its value.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And so if you're going to take it to the next level, how could I be more intentional? Mm-hmm. How could I live in this moment without regret? Mm-hmm. To where I don't necessarily need to go back and try and redo it. Not saying not get better, but I'm saying, did you give it everything you had that you had in that moment?
And what you're speaking to there, like what you had, for me is more of like, it's broader, because understanding, and we can keep it contextual to this environment, that you're part of an ecosystem. Yeah. And so you are required, you matter, and like your contributions are significant. And when that little system breaks down, like, there is an impact, like negatively or positively, and so knowing on any given day, which requires, again, that like attunement to yourself to be able to say like, hey, I want to be able to give it to 100% today. I'm kind of operating at like 80% today. I've had, these rough things happen. Communicating with your team, letting your team support you, because then that you're creating that space for when they're feeling at 40% or 50%, but knowing that you can still show up and your team's got you, and being able to share that, because you can't redo yesterday, like you were talking about. You've got today, and sometimes you can't give every day 100. You just can't. Like, I can't. I'll speak for myself.
Well,
You're
if
you're Superman.
No. If we're going back to the nothing's perfect,
Yeah.
we're not perfect. It's an
Yeah.
impossibility.
Sure.
So I'm with you 100% on that.
Yeah. So I like knowing that like you're part of a team, a collective, a community where like you get to show up and give it heck every day because your team depends on it and depends on you. And then there can be those days where like, we got you, we got you. So
Yeah. That sounds like the nurture way, by the way.
there it is, the nurture way, the imperfect.
Yeah.
But
Well, I just think that you just keep describing the culture that you're trying to create with your teams. And I think honesty is the thing that you're hitting on. It's like, hey, let's be real. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Because we can't step into being blessed or being favored or stepping into the victory
Yeah.
if we're not honest about where we're beginning.
Yeah. Just where we're at today.
The person that's being fake can't step into victory.
Sure.
The person that's being real can.
Yeah.
Because they can actually move forward.
Right. Well, and they can see it and be real enough with themselves
Yes.
and each other.
What the needs are,
Yeah.
what the goals are, what it's going to take.
Sure.
And if we can talk about what it's going to take, then we can actually get to where we want to go.
Sure.
Because that's reality.
Yeah. And what we're good at and
Yes.
where we can contribute and what our real competencies and gifts are and where they aren't, so we can delegate those or choose a different person that can thrive in those spaces. And